Broke 50 pounds lost. 50.2 pounds, just under 7 months. Wow. Look at that. Unbelievable. But, so now the fitness thing comes in. And I start going to the gym. I'm going to, the Y, and I just can't get anything really going. I'm like, kettlebells and a little this and some threadmill, as my dad would say, the treadmill. And my knees are hurting and I'm aching and I'm not, I'm depressed. I don't want to do this. Everybody looks better than me. So I'm like, I got to get into some group things. So I've been obsessed for the last few years with CrossFit. So I do go to a CrossFit class. Whoa, that was like reminiscent of like when I first joined the army. And you're like, oh my God, what did I just do to myself? I get down my first CrossFit class and it literally was like I was like rocketed into another dimension of questioning my own reality. But I liked it. And I thought this could work because I was always afraid of CrossFit because you look at those people and you're like, no way, man, there's no way. But then the more I got into it, I started watching. Go on YouTube and Google "Killing the Fat Man." It's about Gary Roberts, a guy who loses like 80 pounds doing CrossFit, and it's like a 14 or 13 episode series, and it's so great. And Gary Roberts and me are brothers from another mother. I'm just like him. Well, actually, he's probably younger than me, so he is just like me. Just like I was School of Rock before Jack Black, because I'm older than him and I've been doing it before him. But I'll give him all the credit because he made it to the screen with it. I did. But so Killing the Fat Man. I can't recommend that more. It's good to watch at night when you're hungry. So you watch it, and what you gotta have between your legs is a big tall water, and you drink water and you watch it. So anyway, yeah, the other thing that helps losing weight is not eating at night. Trust me, don't eat at night. Eating at night's not happening. All right, so I do the CrossFit class. And then I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Well, I didn't say it was awesome. I was like, ow, this was really scary, but I want to do this. But then it was like the class times really didn't quite jive with my schedule because of dropping the kids off and work. So I'm like, I got to find something else. So I start to research like group fitness because I'm like, I don't want to go to the gym by myself and like try to like put some regimen together because it's not working. I go there and I futz around and I'm not even sweaty when I leave. So I see all these different, there's Orange Therapy, there's Fit Factory, there's all these different companies that have these group fitness things, and they all look cool. And the one that kind of like was like, this is what I want to do, and it was like they had a 9 a.m. class, which is perfect because I drop the kids off at like 8:20. I go straight there, and it's not that far from the house. It's like a straight route from where I drop my son, Jake, off. I drop him off at 2 different schools. Hot box. It is heated kickboxing class. They have like 7 classes a day, 6 days a week. So I call them and they give me like their complimentary, come down to a free class. I did the class. I walked out of the class. I was like dripping, like my whole body was like humming too. It was awesome. And I was like, I'm doing hot box, that's it. So I start doing the hot box. I join up for the 6 month, like whatever, a month. And I start doing hot box 3 to 4 times a week. But I'm still thinking about this CrossFit thing. So anyway, I call Jeremy, who I called Andy, who's the general manager of the CrossFit 615 right here by my house in East Nashville. And I'm like, dudes, I want to do this CrossFit thing. I'm watching this Killing the Fat Man, and I've got all these videos. I love watching CrossFit videos, like the Rich Froning thing. I got his documentary about his life, and the Andrew Ager, and then there's these other people that I've been watching, and Bailey and all those guys. And I just like, I want to do this. I want to be a part of this because I'm also new here, and I don't really have any friends. And Hotbox is cool, but it's kind of like, first of all, it's like all like mostly younger women. And it's, you just kind of go and leave. It's, I don't know, there's nobody really, it's not that thing. It's not that communal. CrossFit, on the other hand, is completely communal. And CrossFit's a whole way of life. I mean, these people are into, like, you know, rogue fitness and paleo and, you know, all this stuff. So it attracted me because I was like, I want something. I want to do something. I want to connect with this. So I call him up and he's like, well, listen, you know, we're starting to do these nooners like 3 days a week, and I can usually do Saturdays, and then maybe I can do one morning a week here and there, and then still do hot box. So I'm kind of tandem back and forth. So he says, oh, starting next week are the 4 foundation classes. You have to take these 4 classes before you can really do the CrossFit. And they teach you the basic moves, because a lot of these moves are like Olympic weightlifting, like clean and snatch and overhead presses and front squats and thrusters. And, you know, it's you know, you got to kind of know what you're doing. You can't just go in there and start bumbling around. You can get yourself hurt. So it's like Tuesday, Wednesday, the first Tuesday and Wednesday of the month, and then the second Tuesday and Wednesday of the month. So it's back-to-back weeks. So it's 4 classes. And he's like, hey, you know, you don't have to do the unlimited, you know, monthly thing. You can just buy a 10-pack card. I'm like, perfect, because I don't know how much I'm going to be able to go. So I get the card, and I do the 2 foundation classes. The first class, I got done with it, and I walked out of there, and I'm like, as much as I enjoyed this, I don't know if I can do this. Just the warm-up just smoked me. I was like, and we got done at the end of the you know, it's like 40 minutes of like instruction. There's a 10-minute warm up, then there's like 40 minutes of instruction, which is hard in its own way because you're doing this stuff. But a lot of it's with PVC pipes and stuff. But still, it's awkward and it's hard, especially if you're, you know, it's new. And then the last like 12 minutes is like your 12-minute workout. So you know, a 12-minute workout, right? Well, 12-minute workout is like equivalent to like 2 hours with most people in the gym, and it's squeezed into 12 minutes. So we're doing the workout, and it ends with, like, when you get done with the whole workout, you do AMRAP, as many reps as possible. You're doing burpees, right? So I get down to the end, and I'm like, on burpees, and I'm like, I'm completely gassed, and they're pounding like gangster rap, and it's like, I mean, it's so loud, and I'm like trying to do these burpees, and I'm like, I mean, my form was less than book, but I'm doing the burpees, and you gotta laugh at yourself in life. And so Jeremy turns to me, he's like, Jay's 10 more seconds, do 2 more. So I'm like, okay. Oh, bam, bam. I come up from the second burpee. You cannot make this stuff up. I come up from the second burpee, the buzz right as the buzzer goes off, this and as soon as the buzzer goes off, he shuts the music off. Now I'm standing up, it's completely silent, and I realize that I am breathing heavier than I have ever. I mean, I'm like, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, I'm 51 years old, I'm gonna explode! I am completely gassed. I'm like, completely gassed. For the next 2 days, my body's like this. It did something to my metabolism, is what it did. And it, like, I don't know what it did, man, but it did something to my metabolism. And so then I was like, oh my God. And then I got up the next morning and it looked like I lost 10 pounds. I am not kidding you. I was like looking in the mirror, I'm like, holy shit. Like, whoa. Like my body just went from the, you know, from the moving heavy things and the like just intensity, the body, like, and that's a whole other thing that I'll get into later on, how the body works, that I've been learning from this whole primal blueprint and the paleo thing, and how off base we are in modern exercise. But that was it. I did it. And I was like, oh my God, when it was over, I remember going in the bathroom and I was like, whoa, that was insane. And so I did the 4 foundation classes, and you know, some of the moves are good, I'm fine. Some of them, like, you know, like overhead squats and front squats are really where I'm suffering. And I talked to Brandon, we're gonna do a little private stuff, he's gonna help me. He says also what plays into it is years of sitting in front of a computer. You know, the sitting shortens all the ligaments in the front, extends the back out, so then like you can't, like, I don't know, it just throws your balance off. But he says that, you know, if I stick at it and practice a lot with a PVC pipe and just stay focused, that he guaranteed me that if I stick at this next year, I will win the Reebok CrossFit Games. I will come in #1. Rich Froning will bow to me. I'm just kidding. I love Brandon, man. Brandon's the homie at CrossFit 615. He's a good guy. He's a great example of it, because his heart is in it. His heart, you know, and that's what's so important with all of this, is to surround yourself with people whose heart is in it. Knowledge doesn't mean squat, and a person's physique doesn't mean squat. You have to surround yourself with people whose heart is in this, and that's really the most important thing. You know, a lot of these trainers have no heart for it. They have heart for themselves, but they don't have heart for others. They just don't. You know, they just don't, man. And I know from experience. You gotta surround yourself with people that really, you know, want to see you progress and are into this, and really lead by example. There you have it. So now I'm doing CrossFit. I did it yesterday morning. It was a good class. Spanky ran it. It's another one of the dudes. Spanky. Whenever I hear Spanky, I know what I think of. Sinner. Remember Spanky? Tommy Boy. Was he one of the Little Rascals? What's the singer guy's name? Whatever. Or was it Spanky? Or is it Buddy Wackett? Oh. You know, David Spade came to my studio years ago. His roommate, David Spade had a roommate, which was really weird. I mean, he was like friggin' a gazillionaire actor, and he had a roommate. But his roommate, I can't remember his name, was making a record at my studio, so he came. And he walked into my studio, and he was David Spade. I mean, he's like, when you see him on TV, it's exactly how he's in person. And I'm like, probably two of my all-time favorite movies are Tommy Boy and Joe Dirt. So, like, David Spade's in my studio, right? Now I'm in Hollywood. I'm like, you know, celebrity vocal coach. I got to keep it together. And it was hard because, you know, every now and then, you know, even in LA, you meet somebody and you're like, damn! I mean, when I met Dio, it was like, I'm in the presence of Dio. Yeah! Look out! Gave me his email. Oh, yeah, we were going to do a seminar together right before he died. Anyway, but, yeah, so David Spade's in my studio, and I'm running Tommy Boy lines, and he's doing his part. So I'm playing I'm playing Chris Farley, and then I'm doing some of the, you know, don't you mean Dirt, don't try to church it up, son. Well, Joe Dirt. But he was, you know, he was, I wouldn't say he was cool. He was David Spade. He was, you know, snide and aloof, just like he is in real life, or just like he is in the films. But he left my studio, and we're still working, and I'm on the 7th floor in Hollywood in a building, right? And I go to leave, and I go to press the button of the elevator, and I realize he tagged my elevator. Now, anybody from LA knows what tagging means. Like, it's like gang, like, signs. Like, he in pen, I don't know how he did it. It was like on the metal, which I don't even know how you can write pen on metal. But on the metal plate where you put the thing, he drew a spade, like, you know, like from, you know, Club Spades, Hearts, whatever. And in the center, it had like a little DS or something like that. I knew it was him, and it wasn't there like that day, because I'd go to the elevator 100 times a day, and it was big, and I'm like, this guy tagged my elevator. Things that make you go, back, boom. 50 pounds down, baby.